Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. The Washington quarter dollar coin, minted in 1994, is one of those special coins that can sometimes fly under the radar for most collectors, but in reality, it holds an interesting place in U.S. coin history. If you're a coin enthusiast or simply curious about valuable coins, you might be surprised at the rare and high-demand editions that circulate among collectors today. Let's take a deeper dive into this particular quarter. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since it was first introduced in 1932. Originally designed to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington, the coin has seen many different versions over the years. Each of those versions holds its own significance in the eyes of collectors. But when it comes to coins like the 1994 Washington quarter, it's not just the standard edition that catches attention. Some variants can fetch a pretty penny. Literally, in 1994, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Washington quarters, including both regular circulation and special mint sets. The majority of these coins are not especially rare or valuable in their own right. However, as with many coins, certain misprints, errors, or unique production circumstances can dramatically increase the value of an otherwise standard issue. Some of the most common examples of valuable Washington quarters from 1994 include those with unique die errors or mismatches in the strike. Take, for example, the 1994 Washington quarter that displays significant off-center strikes. While these are somewhat rare, they can be worth far more than their face value. The off-center error coins come from the minting process when a coin is not properly aligned with the press, resulting in parts of the design being cut off or shifted. There are also other varieties that make certain quarters from this year particularly valuable to collectors. For example, certain proof sets from 1994 have been known to sell at high prices, especially when they are well-preserved or come with documentation of their rarity. Proof coins, which are produced using a special minting process to create high-quality, mirror-like finishes, are often sought after by collectors because of their pristine look and limited availability. Another important factor in determining the value of a 1994 Washington quarter is its condition. Coins that are in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially those with a high level of detail and no signs of wear, can see their value shoot up significantly. This is especially true for collectors who focus on mint state grades, with some quarters fetching high prices if they are graded well by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Now, you might be wondering just how much a Washington quarter from 1994 can actually be worth. While the typical circulated quarter will only get you the standard 25 cents, the rarer and more valuable varieties can fetch prices far above that. For example, if you happen to stumble upon a high-grade or error coin, it might surprise you to learn that some of these can sell for thousands of dollars. But what's the most surprising part? There's one particular version of the 1994 Washington quarter that's so rare, it's known to fetch an astounding price. In fact, this coin can be worth as much as $45,000. That's right, $45,000. To most people, the idea of a quarter being worth such a sum might seem unbelievable, but for coin collectors, especially those who are well-versed in rare mint errors and high-grade specimens, this is a very real figure. So, if you've got a 1994 Washington quarter lying around, it might just be worth a closer look. Who knows? You might have a hidden treasure in your pocket. Top 2. The 1980 Washington quarter dollar coin is a captivating piece of American currency, one that many collectors and investors have been drawn to over the years. While it might seem like just another coin at first glance, it holds secrets that could make it worth far more than the typical quarter you'd find in your pocket. In this video, we're going to dive into what makes the 1980 Washington quarter stand out, its history, and how its value can rise dramatically in the right conditions. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter dollar was first introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. Since then, the design has become one of the most iconic symbols of American currency. The 1980 version of the quarter, just like other years, features a portrait of Washington on the front and an eagle on the reverse, which is a design that remained largely unchanged for decades. But here's the twist. Not all 1980 Washington quarters are created equal. While most of these coins are still in circulation, there are specific variations, mint errors, and even certain grades that can make this coin extraordinarily rare. Collectors know that coins minted during certain years are worth much more if they have defects or unique characteristics. One of the key factors that determine the value of a 1980 Washington quarter is its mint mark. The coin was struck in 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The mint mark, or lack thereof, can tell you a lot about the coin's origin and its scarcity, with some mint marks being rarer than others. But it's not just about where it was made. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. Coins in excellent condition, such as those that have been well preserved or are in mint state, hold a much higher value than those with scratches, wear, or discoloration. To get a better idea of how your 1980 quarter might fare, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A quarter in excellent condition could fetch hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars at an auction, while one that's worn might only be worth its face value. A more intriguing factor to consider is the possibility of minting errors. Errors like double strikes, die cracks, or off-center minting can make a coin incredibly valuable. Collectors often search for these flaws, as they are often considered mistakes that make the coin unique. If you have a 1980 Washington quarter with a noticeable minting error, you might have a goldmine on your hands. One example of a coin that's seen an extreme increase in value is the 1980 Washington quarter with a double die reverse. This coin shows an unusual doubling of the design on the reverse, particularly around the words "E pluribus unum." This type of error is quite rare and makes the coin stand out as a highly sought-after collector's item. If you happen to have one of these, you could be in for a big surprise when it comes time to appraise it. But it's not just mint errors that can make a coin valuable. Sometimes, it's simply the rarity of the coin in a specific grade. A 1980 quarter that has been kept in pristine condition for decades can fetch a premium at coin auctions. Coins with higher grades are often sold for substantial amounts, as they represent the best examples of their type. So, what does all of this mean for the potential value of your 1980 Washington quarter? If you have one in your collection, it could be worth more than you think. While the typical coin might only fetch a few dollars, those with rare characteristics or minting errors could see their value skyrocket. After doing extensive research and examining some of the highest recent sales, it's not out of the realm of possibility to find a 1980 Washington quarter worth as much as $65,000, especially if it's in perfect condition or has a rare minting error. This is the kind of price that makes coin collecting so exciting. The potential to turn a small, seemingly insignificant coin into a valuable treasure with the right conditions. So, if you have a 1980 Washington quarter in your collection, take a closer look. It might just be more valuable than you imagined. Top 3. The 1989 Washington quarter dollar might seem like just another coin from the late 20th century, but it's one that has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike due to its potential value. While most of the coins from this year are still in circulation, there's much more to the 1989 Washington quarter than meets the eye. From its historical significance to the variations that can affect its worth, this seemingly simple coin could be hiding a significant amount of money in your collection. The Washington quarter dollar has been a staple of American currency since 1932, honoring George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged for decades. However, as with many coins, subtle differences in production and condition can make all the difference when it comes to determining value. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, which were distributed across the country as part of regular coinage. These quarters were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and like most coins, the mint mark plays a crucial role in determining rarity. While quarters minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, those struck in Denver feature a D, and those from San Francisco are marked with an S. Understanding which mint produced your quarter is an essential first step in determining its potential value. However, the mint mark alone isn't the only factor that can elevate a 1989 quarter's value. The condition of the coin is arguably the most significant. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with grades ranging from poor, P1, to perfect, MS, 70. If your 1989 Washington quarter is in mint condition, meaning it has no scratches, wear, or discoloration, it could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, a quarter in flawless condition can fetch impressive prices in the right market. There's also the possibility of discovering a rare minting error on your 1989 quarter, which can dramatically increase its value. Minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center prints, or die cracks, can turn a seemingly common coin into a valuable collector's item. These errors are often unintentional, but they can make a coin unique and desirable to those in the numismatic community. For example, a 1989 Washington quarter with a double die reverse, a type of error where the coin is struck twice by the die, causing a visible duplication of the design, could be worth a fortune. These types of errors are much rarer than you might think and often attract collectors who are willing to pay a premium for such unique finds. Another important factor is the overall rarity of a particular coin. While the 1989 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, certain grades or specific varieties of the coin are much less common than others. For example, the San Francisco Mint produced a limited number of proof quarters that were struck with higher precision for collectors. These proof coins are often more valuable than their business strike counterparts because they were made with a special process designed to give them a shiny, mirror-like finish. If you happen to own a 1989 proof quarter in pristine condition, it could be worth more than you expect. When it comes to the 1989 Washington quarter, it's not just about finding a rare minting error or a high-grade coin. Sometimes it's about how the coin is presented and whether it has been properly preserved. Coins that have been stored in protective cases, such as capsules or albums, have a higher chance of maintaining their original condition, making them more desirable to collectors. Coins that show signs of heavy wear, scratches, or discoloration are far less valuable than those that have been carefully protected over the years. So, just how much could a 1989 Washington quarter be worth? While most of these coins are worth just 25 cents, some rare varieties, especially those in flawless condition or with unique minting errors, have been known to fetch thousands of dollars. If you're lucky enough to own a 1989 quarter with the right characteristics, it's not out of the question that it could be worth as much as $55,000. This value could come from the coin's rarity, its condition, or a rare minting error that makes it stand out from the rest. For collectors and coin enthusiasts, the 1989 Washington quarter serves as a reminder that even the most seemingly ordinary coins can hold hidden value. Whether it's a minting flaw, a perfect grade, or simply a rare variety, the right 1989 quarter could be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you happen to stumble upon one of these valuable coins, you might just be holding a small fortune in your hands. So, before you dismiss that 1989 Washington quarter sitting in your coin jar or collection, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a piece of history that's worth much more than its face value, potentially even $55,000. Top 4. The 1995 Washington quarter dollar is one of those coins that might seem like just another standard piece of U.S. currency, but there's more to it than meets the eye. While the vast majority of 1995 quarters are worth only 25 cents, there are some rare varieties that have caused waves in the world of numismatics. If you're a coin collector, investor, or just curious about how the value of a seemingly regular coin can skyrocket, then you've come to the right place. Let's dive into the world of the 1995 Washington quarter, uncover what makes it valuable, and explore how a simple coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The Washington quarter, introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, has long been one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The design of the quarter has remained largely unchanged over the decades, with Washington's portrait on the front and a bold eagle on the reverse. By 1995, the coin had become a staple of American currency, minted by the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of the 1995 quarters you come across will look exactly like you'd expect. However, some are unique because of small variations, errors, or unique conditions that make them much more valuable to collectors. When you think about it, the difference between a coin worth just 25 cents and one worth thousands often comes down to the minting process, the coin's condition, and whether it carries any errors. One of the most common factors that affect the value of a 1995 Washington quarter is the mint mark. The mint mark indicates where the coin was produced, with D representing Denver, P representing Philadelphia, and S representing San Francisco. While the Philadelphia Mint typically produces coins with no mint mark, The Denver and San Francisco mints are responsible for some of the rarer varieties of the quarter, but mint marks alone aren't enough to determine the value of a coin. Condition is one of the most significant elements when it comes to coin valuation. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect specimen. A quarter in pristine condition, with no visible wear, scratches, or discoloration, will naturally be worth more than one that has seen heavy use. A well-preserved 1995 Washington quarter, especially one with an exceptional grade, is far more valuable than a typical quarter that's spent years bouncing around in pockets and coin jars. The real excitement for collectors comes when there are minting errors or unique characteristics on the 1995 quarter. One such example is the famous double die error. A double die occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing part of the design to appear doubled. This is often noticeable on letters and numbers, and when it happens, the result is a coin that is far rarer and more valuable than the standard issue. If you come across a 1995 Washington quarter with noticeable doubling, especially in areas like Liberty or In God We Trust, it could be a gold mine. Another factor that could increase the value of your 1995 quarter is whether it is a proof coin. Proof coins are specially minted with higher precision and are often sold to collectors. The U.S. Mint produces proof coins at its San Francisco facility, and they have a distinctive mirror-like finish. If you happen to find a 1995 Washington quarter from the San Francisco Mint in proof quality, you may be holding a much more valuable coin than you realize. Even without an obvious minting error, the rarity of the 1995 Washington quarter in certain grades can make it worth significantly more. As with any collectible, the rarer the coin and the better its condition, the more collectors are willing to pay for it. If you have a high-grade 1995 Washington quarter, especially one that's well-preserved, it could command a premium in the right market. So, what's the real value of a 1995 Washington quarter? While the majority of these coins are worth no more than their face value of 25 cents, certain rare examples, particularly those with minting errors, high grades, or special characteristics, can fetch impressive amounts. In fact, some 1995 Washington quarters have been sold at auction for prices well above $1,000, with the most valuable examples reaching even higher figures. Now, let's talk about the big prize. If you happen to have a 1995 Washington quarter that's in exceptional condition, has a unique minting error, or was struck as a proof coin, the value could be staggering. Some of these rare and high-quality coins have been known to sell for as much as $42,000. That's right. What might seem like a simple quarter could be worth more than most people's car. For those who are just getting into coin collecting, or for those who have been collecting for years, the 1995 Washington quarter is a reminder of how much hidden value can exist in what seems like an everyday object. Whether it's due to a minting error, a rare grade, or even just the right market conditions, this seemingly ordinary coin could be your ticket to a small fortune. So, next time you're sorting through your loose change, take a closer look at your 1995 Washington quarters. You never know. One of them could be worth $42,000 or more. Top 5. The 1983 Washington quarter dollar may seem like just another coin from the early 80s, but for coin collectors, it's far more than that. If you've ever wondered what makes some coins so valuable while others are just a small part of your pocket change, the 1983 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how rarity, condition, and even minting errors can turn an everyday coin into something worth a significant amount of money. So, let's dive in and explore what makes the 1983 Washington quarter a potential treasure for collectors and investors alike. Introduced in 1932, the Washington quarter has become one of the most iconic coins in American history. The coin features a portrait of George Washington on the front, with the eagle from the Great Seal of the United States on the reverse. The 1983 Washington quarter, like most quarters minted during this period, was struck in copper-nickel and released into circulation by the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. At first glance, it seems like just another quarter in a sea of other quarters. But things start to get interesting when you consider the factors that affect its value. One of the first things collectors look for is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities around the country, each marked with a different letter. Philadelphia quarters have no mint mark, Denver quarters are marked with a D, and San Francisco coins have an S mint mark. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced millions of quarters in 1983, the San Francisco Mint was responsible for striking proof quarters, which were produced for collectors rather than general circulation. This makes the 1983 proof quarter particularly interesting to collectors, as proof coins are often struck with higher precision and often have a much sharper and shinier appearance than their business strike counterparts. But it's not just the mint mark that can make a 1983 Washington quarter valuable. Like all coins, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being considered perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that have been well preserved, without visible wear, scratches, or discoloration, tend to fetch higher prices at auctions. If you have a 1983 quarter in mint state, particularly one that is graded MS 65 or higher, it could be worth more than you might expect. What makes the 1983 Washington quarter even more intriguing is the possibility of finding a minting error. Over the years, minting errors have become highly desirable to collectors. These errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during production, resulting in imperfections that make the coin unique. For example, double strikes, where the design is stamped twice, or off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned, can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. If you happen to find a 1983 Washington quarter with a noticeable minting error, you could be holding something very special. Another factor that can increase the value of the 1983 Washington quarter is the coin's rarity. While millions of these quarters were minted, some are far rarer than others, especially when they are found in pristine condition or with minting errors. The San Francisco proof coins are particularly sought after by collectors due to their limited production, which makes them scarcer than their circulating counterparts. Additionally, quarters that have been stored in protective cases, such as capsules or albums, are often in better condition, further increasing their value. Now, let's talk about the big picture. The 1983 Washington quarter might not seem like an obvious gold mine, but when you start adding up all the right factors, such as rarity, minting errors, and condition, you begin to realize that it could be worth far more than just a few quarters. While most 1983 Washington quarters are worth no more than their face value of 25 cents, certain examples can fetch a much higher price. For a coin in perfect condition, a rare mint mark, or with a unique minting error, the value can rise dramatically. If you happen to come across the right combination of factors in a 1983 quarter, it's not out of the question to see the price soar to as much as $53,000. That's right. A single 1983 Washington quarter could potentially be worth $53,000 if it has the right attributes, like a high grade, an error, or a rare mint variety. This is the kind of hidden value that makes coin collecting so exciting. What may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance could turn out to be an extraordinary find that puts a small fortune in your hands. So, the next time you're sifting through your coin collection or going through spare change, take a moment to carefully examine any 1983 Washington quarters you might have. Look for that elusive mint mark, check the condition, and see if there's any sign of a minting error. You never know. You might just be holding a coin worth far more than its face value. And if you happen to have one of those rare, perfect condition 1983 quarters, it could very well be worth $53,000. Happy collecting!